Fighters and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Happy birthday! No, wait, it's July. That doesn't work for the Frosty the Snowman thing. I'd be melted in a puddle of, well, I'd be a pool of water outside floating down the Mojo River. But happy Wednesday. Look, that's 2 days in a row in the middle of the week. What the hell's going on? The world has gone crazy. I'm still on the radio. I'm not sure what's going on. I can tell you I will make it 3 in a row, but probably not 4 because Friday's it's kind of a day off. We won't be doing any live shows from the studio that day. We have a couple of people out of the office, and look, A, I couldn't do it all myself if I was supposed to, and B, I don't know how to do it all myself. So I think we're going to let everybody have a day of freedom instead of a day of goof ups. So we'll be off on Friday, but listen, we'll still have remote stuff streaming, and I don't know, we'll put a best of up for all of us, and who knows, maybe I'll do something fun from a restaurant somewhere, actually eating some food for you on Facebook Live at some point. That's kind of the goal. Yeah, I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. Oh, Jeff was back in studio today. Handy J was in, and he brought me this card. It's from this place called, I'll have to get it I'll have to get the card from in the middle of the, at the break, at the bottom of the hour. But it was, it's this restaurant that deals specifically with poke. And I like poke. If you don't know what poke is, it's marinated fish. It's raw marinated fish, not a ceviche, right? But a raw marinated fish that's got typically onion, sesame seed, sesame oil, some soy sauce, some sort of Hawaiian sea salt, black pepper, maybe some red chili flake or red chilies. It's basically a Hawaiian dish made of leftover cuts of fish that were then diced up into bite-sized pieces, marinated, and served. They can be served on its own, over rice, with whatever you want. It's a very, very popular dish in Hawaii. You buy it by the pound at every grocery store. Every pretty much convenience store even has it. Anyway, I want to try this place out because it's in a little area it's almost like a food court from the description, and it just sounds delicious. I looked at the menu. There's some great things on there. I'll get the information. I'll post that up on Facebook. If you happen to be in the DFW area, please check it out, support them, and give an honest review. Call in and tell me, or shoot me an email, text. You can just reach me right here on Spoony's live feed on Spoony Radio on Facebook. You can always email Chef Patrick at spoony.com. at spoony.com. Now, let's see what we got going on today. It is, oh yeah, I was trying to post it, but I didn't quite have time. It is National Tequila Day. And I don't know about you, but I've had a love-hate relationship with tequila for a long time. And I think it all stems from one experience when I was 18 in Germany. And it was around Christmas time. I introduced my friends there while we were walking around the streets of Cologne in the freezing cold. It was freezing. It had to be below zero. I'm sure it was. But we were walking around sharing, for some reason, a bottle of tequila straight, which I had never done before. I mean, I'd had a little bit to do, but never like that. And the next morning, we'll just say I had what I like to call the tequila shakes. And as I picked up the, let's see if I can make the sound. As I picked up my saucer with a coffee cup on it the next morning with my host family's, with them at the breakfast table, it kind of sounded like, kind of a little rattling, the ching, 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 where the glass, the cup of coffee, not only was I spilling it on the saucer, the cup nearly fell from the saucer. So I didn't have any tequila for about 10 years after that, and have since learned to not do shots, but to simply sip it and enjoy it, or have it in a perfect margarita, which I'm going to go through that recipe in a minute. But, what is tequila, you ask? Oh, I'm glad you asked, because I just happen to know. So tequila, by any other name, is mezcal, right? It's mezcal wine. It's okay. How do I say this? Tequila is mezcal, but mezcal is not tequila. All right. So mezcal is made from the same plant, agave, which if you've ever seen an agave plant, it looks like a century plant or a very large version of an aloe vera plant. The the leaf-like structures, right? The branch-like structures that come off are very long and pointed, and they have the typical spines of a desert plant, but they're very thick. And the plant is the bulb of the plant at the base is can be up to 2 feet or more across. It takes a very long time to establish or grow, but once they come to maturity, they harvest that bulb, they cut off the stems, and then it's baked, it's roasted in an outdoor oven, a stone oven, and then that broken down, that baked product is then turned into an actual wine, which is mezcal, and then to make tequila, the liqueur. Oh well, actually, let me turn this around. They're both distilled, but the tequila has to come from a specific agave plant, right? So once they get this juice out of it, then they distill it, and that's what happens. You can go through the fermentation process, and you have this liqueur. And what's interesting to note is not every tequila distillery, as a matter of fact, most don't make their liqueur, right? The tequila water, the liquor. They actually buy it from other manufacturers who don't make tequila, many of them. They just make the liquor. And then that's handed over to each distillery, and they're not really distilleries at that point. They're mostly aging and somehow treating it, this liquor, to make their style of tequila. Anyway, so mezcal isn't tequila, but tequila is mezcal. And that's because tequila is distilled from a specific type of agave plant. And also the law protects the amount of production. So let's go back and how did this all start? Because I was surprised how long tequila has been being made. So Tequila History 101. Oh, let's go back to the bourbon voice. Because, if you missed it, Sean Young was on Try This Dish Radio a couple of hours ago. And he had, was it Brent Elliott was on. He is the master distiller from Four Roses Bourbon. Go back and listen to that if you have a chance, an opportunity. Go to the Facebook Live page and, give it a listen. That was on, not 10 o'clock this morning, so 11 o'clock East Coast. But it's up there. The feed is there. You can go to Spreaker and listen to Try This Dish Radio over the under the Spoony radio brand or station. You can actually go to iTunes, maybe up on iTunes now. Mine is up on iTunes. So if you're traveling around, you got nothing else to do, you can go to Food Biz Pro on iTunes and pick an episode and listen. And you know what? They don't all have a very good description. They just have the date. So you might get lucky, you might not. Depends on if I did any show prep or if I had any sleep the night before. I'm just saying. All right, so how did this all start? It all started around the 16th century. Nah, that sounds corny. Cortez, came to North America with the conquistadors, and they didn't like the fermented mezcal wine that was served to them. They introduced copper stills to the population and entered the distilling process. Hard to believe that was in the 1500s. So then tequila actually in Jalisco, Mexico, is where the story next takes us. So it's in a valley. It's west of Guadalajara and Jalisco, Mexico. The town made the name for themselves by distilling blue agave, which is what you need to, that's what you have to use to make tequila. Even though a variety of succulents in Mexico, I guess you can't say that, just like you can't say moist anymore. But these succulents, this moist plant, I'm just joking. The succulents in Mexico produce mezcal. Only one produces the nectar to distill tequila, and that's blue agave. And it grows in the highland region, in that area and above. I remember I talked about how long it takes to establish a blue agave grow in Mexico. Part of that is because the growing region has to be, or the growing conditions have to be very specific, and B, it's that the blue agave is it's a much larger plant. It has a higher sugar content, and it takes much longer to grow. So agave that grows in the lowlands, it's pretty small. It's kind of herbal and herbaceous, I guess. There are some grassy notes and other herbs that you get, especially in the nose, the smell, right? So in Mexico, the law protects the production of tequila. The rule states that, quote, tequila is only tequila if it is made within Jalisco. Additionally, the law limits production to regions of the states of, Guanajuato, Michoacan, Nayarit, and Tamaulipas. Man, I need to slow down. Tamaulipas. There we go. However, the same ingredients distilled anywhere cannot be labeled tequila. That's just becomes, unfortunately, mezcal. Interesting, many names in the tequila business today were the very first commercial producers for tequila. For example, Jose Antonio Cuervo held the first license for making the favored beverage. He kept a well-known company too, of course, better known as Cuervo Tequila. Two other names include Don Zenobio Souza Tequila, and Felix Lopez, whose business continue in some form today, Souza Tequila. Equally enjoyed in cocktails such as the margarita or tequila sunrise, connoisseurs savor a good tequila like a good whiskey. As a result, savvy drinkers experience the smooth renaissance of tequilas. Surprisingly, it's not the firewater they remember from their youth, and that's true. If you've had, there are some really great tequilas out there now. There's, number Juan, which is Juan, what's his, the comedian, how can I not remember his name? He's partners with Bill White. Bill White? Who's the comedian? They call me Tater Salad. All right. They have a company aren't they in, they're not in San Antonio. They're in Austin, I believe. Actually, I need to go visit them next time I'm down there. Ron White, that's right. So it's Ron White and his partner have a great company. It's called Number Juan Tequila. It's actually one of the best ones I've had. They have one, I believe it's their, it's the black label that's aged in bourbon barrels. Yeah, I know it's not, it's not traditional, but boy, is it good. It even smells like bourbon. It's the Number Juan Extra Añejo. It's really good. You should try that out. If you can find it at your local store, which you should be able to anywhere in Texas, since they're based here. So anyway, I like a little bit in my marinade tequila, that is. Not potato salad and not Ron White. I like a little tequila. If I'm going to make a fajita marinade, you put the standard ingredients: garlic, oregano, fresh and Mexican oregano, whole leaf if you can, and crush it up between your hands. So a little bit of some sort of chili powder. I typically use orange and lime juice. A little bit of tequila, salt, kosher salt, black pepper, and then any number of other ingredients. I finely slice red onion, white onion, throw a couple other things in there, cilantro, let that marinate for a while, flip it over. And the tequila actually, it gives, between the tequila and the lime juice, it almost cooks the outside of the meat while it's marinating. And it gives it a very specific texture after you grill it on the outside. It's, I don't know how to explain it, but anyway, it adds a delicious caramelization also. I'm going to go ahead and post a, where is it? It is the recipe for a perfect margarita. This comes from Bon Appetit, which is one of my favorite magazines. And I'll get that posted here in just a second. Nope, I don't need, no thanks. Thank you. All right. So, the perfect margarita recipe. There you go. I'm going to read it to you now. We'll get this posted. There are a few drinks that I really, really like. They could be my go-to anytime. One is a bourbon neat, not a problem. One of my all-time favorites. But the other is a great margarita. But I don't like them blended. I don't like them frozen. I like a margarita on the rocks. And so I've tried this before. And Bon Appetit, one of my favorite magazines, they list, as a matter of fact, they list all of their recipes online if you've ever looked for them. So if you're looking for a great recipe, their Bon Appetit on bonappetit.com is a great place to go. But this is for one portion. So if you like them and you want to pour a tall one, or you got a friend you want to share one with, today's a good day to make the perfect margarita. So It is 1.5 ounces of tequila. Now, this has to be a reposado if you can find it. Yes, it makes a difference if it's añejo, blanco, or reposado. So choose a reposado. Just saying. 1.5 ounces of triple sec or Cointreau. I like Cointreau because it's more of a liqueur. It's I don't know. It's got a more refined flavor. I think it's very underrated as an orange liqueur, and I think triple sec and margaritas, no offense, is overused. I like Cointreau. 1 to 1.25 ounces of lime juice, and then just salt to coat or rim the glass. It's that simple. Basically, I put all the ingredients with cracked ice in a cocktail shaker, shake it until the outside of the cocktail shaker gets nice and frosty, and then you serve it in a glass over rocks or up if you want it in a cocktail glass. I like it on the rocks just so it kind of, it stays cold, A, and B, it dilutes a little bit as you go. So you start out with a stronger flavor and it gets a little less intense as you go. I also, I like to use a mixture of salt and sugar to rim the glass. So if you use they make that margarita salt, which is a little bit different than kosher salt. It's not quite as salty, so to speak. If you take that and mix it with like a larger granulated sugar, something like they make some baking sugars that you can use for decorating, but they make some that are either just they're not fully refined sugar, so it has a little bit of almost a beige tint to it. And that way you get a little bit of a distinct mix between those really kind of flaky pieces of the margarita salt and then the beige color of the sugar crystals. And so you just take the rim of the glass before you put the ice and obviously pour your drink in there. You can either take the lime and rub it around the rim of the glass, or you can squeeze the juice onto a plate and just or a saucer and take the glass and dip it in that and then put it in the sugar upside down, and there you go. You have a rimmed glass, so to speak, and it works perfectly. Anyway, I'll put that up here in just a second, because who doesn't like margaritas? But I'm not drinking margaritas today, just FYI, because it's Wind Down Wednesday. So in a little while, I'm going to open that bottle of Verada Pinot Noir, and I believe that is a bottle that I actually all right, if somebody sent this to Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I gave that to Doc when he was still at the other place. We did a tasting. I think it was a pairing of Halloween candies and wine, and I had brought a couple of extra bottles, and that was one, and it was the only one we never got to opening. So I'm going to open that for the second, the last segment of the show today, for Wind Down Wednesday. Laura Geen will not be joining us today, so I'll just talk a little bit about Pinot and give some recipes, the perfect Pinot Noir recipes that include the wine and that are great to pair Pinot with themselves. All right. So what else we got in food news today? There's all sorts of crazy stuff going on out there as usual. Let's see. Jeff was in today, producer Jeff, and he brought me this little piece of paper. Oh, let's go back for a second. Tequila. If you do me a favor on Facebook, I do have to choose someone that won the ice cream contest. And so what I'm going to have to do, the only way to do that, I'm going to have to put everybody's name in a hat and draw it, because otherwise I'm going to be biased, and I don't want to be biased. So, because I am, right? I'll be biased. I can't lie. So I'll put them all in a hat, and I will choose one winner, and I will do that on the show tomorrow. I will make a note. Actually, I've already made a note. I'll choose it tomorrow, and we'll get you a half gallon of ice cream shipped out. You know what? Well, never mind. You can go buy your own favorite ice cream at your own local grocer, because I was going to say what I'd rather do is send you a gift card for a cut gallon of ice cream from your local Baskin-Robbins, but we don't all have Baskin-Robbins around anymore, and I don't even know when the last time I saw one was. All right, so on top of that, send me your if you have a favorite tequila, send it to me. Richard Brandt, I know you're out there. I know you have one. Travis Watkins, I know you have one. Marie Daniel, you probably sure have one. I have one. Yeah. If you have a favorite, let me know. There are some expensive bottles out there. Doesn't have to be expensive. Just, what do you drink on a daily basis? And let me know. We'll talk about it a little bit. There's I like Don Julio. It's one of my favorites. 1942 is good, but it's $100 a bottle. Patron is pretty good on a daily basis, just to mix. I'm trying to think. Herradura Ultra Añejo. That's a good one, but again, that's a little in the pricey range. Tres Agaves Blanco. That one's pretty good. Anyway, let me know what your favorite is. We'll post those, or you're going to post them, actually. I don't need to post them for you. You're not my children. Or are you? No, you're not. So I was looking at, it's summertime. And I've been thinking about vacation. You know, I've been a martyr for years and years, never take a vacation. And I've never been good at that, right? I used to be really good at taking vacation, whether it was, just on my own, with my friends, with family, whatever. I've always took vacation. And then for some reason, life kicked in, and many times work became more important for some reason, in my mind anyway. And Jeff brought this in today to give me some ideas on topics to talk about. And it was interesting. I saw some, not just what is in this article, which there's one about vacation shaming, and then also the number one vacation destination, that we as Americans take. I was very surprised at how little vacation Americans take overall compared to the rest of the world. So I did a little digging, and here's a list of the front runners. People in these countries get the most paid vacation days, and you think, well, why does that matter? Why is it important? Well, it's very important, I think, because if you don't take downtime, then you never. You can never recharge. I'm an outgoing individual. I am. I'm an extroverted introvert, if you know what that means. Meaning, I'm a very interactive, engaged person. I love to be around people. But when it comes time for me to recharge my batteries, because believe it, introverted doesn't mean outgoing, and extroverted doesn't mean outgoing, and introverted doesn't mean shy or not wanting to interact. It's how you recharge your batteries, or how you recollect, or, how do you regain your composure and become ready to face the challenges of the coming days? How do you recharge your batteries, right? When it's time for downtime, right? So some people don't have downtime. They're recharged by being around other people, and I'm not that person. I love being around people. I love being in, I love being in large groups. I love being in small groups of people. I like interacting with people. But when it comes time to recharge my batteries, I really just want to sit down, do nothing, read a book, sit in the quiet. And oftentimes I'll exercise for extended periods of time. I like to ride my road bike. It's funny. I have a bike from the year 2000. I bought it in 2001. 2001 in Los Angeles, and it was, I don't know. I think it's the Team Seiko Olympic bike. It was their team time trial bike, I think, for the Olympics that year. Now, it didn't have quite all the components they had as professional bicyclists, but anyway, I like to ride. But I like to ride alone. I mean, I like to ride with other people, but if I'm doing it not for exercise and just to recoup, I ride by myself, and I ride as far as I can go, and I turn around and I ride back. You'll notice if I'm exercising and riding like that every day, if I get to recharge like that every day, I'm a very different person. Anyway, we'll get into that in a minute as we talk more about vacation and the fact that people don't take vacation in the United States that they should, but we'll get into that psychology, the psychology of that, why it matters, and it's not directly related to food, but travel, food, downtime, they all kind of play together, and we'll talk about that a little bit. So our first half an hour is already up, man. I didn't get through even one of 6 topics, 2 of 6 topics. Wow. Huh, I'm good at talking, folks. All right, again, don't forget it's National Tequila Day. Go out, get your perfect margarita. I'll look and see if there's any specials going around. There's got to be some chain restaurants. At the very least, we can probably go to I don't know. One of those chains has got to have a margarita special, right? Hey, stay tuned. I'll be right back. Patrick Mosher, the Food Biz Pro. 2 minutes.
Follow Chef Patrick Mosher on Twitter @Food Biz Pro.
Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. Eric, we've been seeing Mojo guys over there and over here at Spoony talk about Atrantil for bloating. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
You're exactly right. The polyphenols are those molecules that we find in the Mediterranean diet. It makes vegetables and fruits very colorful. What are some of the things that these polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can actually stop inflammation. They can help you have more energy. They can help you with anti-aging. And polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Tell me how everybody should be taking Atrantil.
If you want to dose Atrantil, it's 2 capsules 3 times a day, basically with your meals. But if you aren't bloated and you just want that polyphenol intake every day, 2 to 3 capsules a day will work for you.
Go to lovemytummy.com/Spoony. Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
What are some of the things that these polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can help you have more energy, and polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Go to lovemytummy.com/Spoony.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-570-6630. 800-570-6630. That's 800-570-6630. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
And we're back. All right. You ready to spend another half an hour talking about food, fun, family, I don't know, whatever we're talking about. Vacation, not to take vacation, to take vacation. Or tequila. We're talking about tequila today because it is National Tequila Day. I want to open image in new tab. And I actually had, let's see, copy image. And we're going to go back here. Back here. Let's see, Richard Brent had said when he was in the studio, let's see. Patrick Mosher, let's see if you can do 3 in a row. Yes, I can do 3. Yes, and yes, I'm glad I'm back. Marie and Travis and Richard Brand is present. Marie is present. Travis Watkins, that was a good show this morning. Yeah, it was a good show this morning, wasn't it? If you missed it, Sean Young of Try This Dish Radio hosted a call from Brent. I want to make sure I get it right, so sorry about this. Brent Elliott, right? I'm usually not good with names. I'm trying to do better. Slow down and make sure I correct it. Say their names correctly and give them credit. But Brent is the master distiller at Four Roses Bourbon. And, they have a very interesting story. They were basically, during Prohibition, the distillery stayed intact, but 90 plus, almost 100% of their production was shipped overseas. And it got diluted as far as quality and brand. And if you remember, that was pretty much everyone's their well, which is the house kind of level of drink. It was their well mix or their bourbon for well drinks back in the day up until just like 2001. But what happened was in 2001, I believe it's the Kirin Corporation. I want to say Kirin Corp and Four Roses. So the Kirin Corporation, they're not Kirin Brewery Company. There you go. They bought them in February of 2002. And they brought not just the brand, but they bought the entire production facilities, and they decided that they were going to up the level again. So Kirin, as if you don't know, is also the Suntory company, which I think I mistakenly brought that up during the show today. They're the same company, Suntory, of course, being whiskey and Karen being beer. So I I apologize for that, but I think, not trying to cross those brands. Suntory makes some great whiskeys, but they don't make bourbon because it's not made in Kentucky and it's not 100% corn. And yeah, the story is very intriguing. He kind of goes through the whole history of how they kind of rebranded starting in 2002, and Suntory gave them the backing and the freedom to build a brand that was now marketable in the U.S. as a premium bourbon again. And there's been this renaissance over the last, 5, 10, maybe 10 years of, these bourbons, these U.S. Wonderful whiskeys, being it's just there's a revitalization, and again it's this renaissance of people appreciating the craft, the experience of these craftsmen being put back into these whiskeys, these bourbons and other American spirits, which we haven't seen in a long time, outside of the last 10 to 20 years probably. Anyway, the great story. If you go back and listen, Sean did a great job hosting. I had the honor of being in the booth. And actually, if you go to Instagram, I posted a picture of me in the booth, and through the glass you can see Sean. And I tagged Four Roses Bourbon in there. So if you go Instagram, you can go to my page, the Food Biz Pro page, like it, and follow us. That'd be great. I appreciate it. All right, so back to the program. We were talking about tequila brands. I'm going to grab that image real quick and put it back there. Back on Facebook, we had Richard Brent said he didn't get a chance to look for the number one on the table during the MojoCon when the fans came here to say hello. I want to add that image in here right now. See if it comes up. And let's see. Nope, maybe not. Let me see if I can find just the image. I don't think it'll let me post the image in the post, but anyway, that'll take it to the number one añejo. It's about $70 to $80 a bottle, I believe. Good stuff, though. It's worth it, and it is a sipping tequila. So if you get it, enjoy a lot in small doses, right? Interestingly enough, tequila does not actually dehydrate you like a lot of other spirits do. It has a fairly low residual sugar content, and for some reason, if you sip it, it doesn't give you the way that alcohol. And I'm sorry, I love alcohol. I do. I drink. I like the culture around spirits, wine, and other beverages. I don't like the mass drinking culture of people going out and get hammered every night, or having to go out and party in the streets. And well, okay, if it's St. Patty's Day or New Year's, maybe, but not on a daily basis. It's I like when people can sit and appreciate and talk about it, and I love trying to pair it with a specific spirit with specific foods, and I like it. I like it a lot. Anyway, let's see. Travis Watkins, I don't have a ton of experience with tequila other than cheap ones. I'll be watching the comments for good suggestions. Holly Ann says, I love the coffee Patron. Yeah, that's pretty good, actually, because the coffee kind of hides the tequila flavor. It's really good. Marie Daniel, Milagro. Ooh, that's good stuff, too. Spoony Radio put the link, that would be me, to number one. And let's see. We'll put some others up. All right. Oh, hey, Sean, thanks for sharing the stream. By the way, I did get the message that you had asked me a question, or your significant other, that'd be your wife, asked me a question she requested a message, a conversation between us in Messenger, and I'd be glad to talk to you guys about CBDs and some other stuff. If you, I'll respond. Just let her know I'll respond today. So sorry about that. The CBD business is very big, and it's pretty amazing what it can do for your body. But it actually can work better if you use a product such as Dr. Brown's Atrantil. if you haven't seen the Gut Check Project, check it out tomorrow. I'm not sure who their guest is or what their topic is, but it's guaranteed to learn you something, if nothing else. And also, it's very entertaining. Dr. Kenneth Brown and Eric Rieger are two of the most entertaining, if not the most entertaining, show hosts on the program. And their whole program pretty much revolves around gut health. And Dr. Brown, being a very renowned gastroenterologist, he developed this product called Atrantil. Look, I can't say it, let alone spell it. So you can go to lovemytummy.com, type in /Spoony, or it's lovemytummy.com/Spoony, not splash Spoony, /Spoony. And then in the promo code, put in Spoony, and you'll get a 10% discount. It's a fairly inexpensive product to begin with. I think you get a 90-day supply for $90 or $99. And what it is, it's a lot of phytonutrients is what it is. And it can do a whole bunch of things for you. I'm not a doctor. I'm not. Although in my family, I have often been called Dr. Patrick because, pretty much everybody in the family calls me with their ailments. And I try to diagnose without diagnosing. But anyway, I'm looking for the specific word, but polyphenols. So the polyphenols, those are things that add, not just color to plants, but there's a whole range of polyphenols. Those particular molecules, right, interact in your body in a way that's pretty amazing. It can help with anti-aging. If you're an athlete, I'm telling you, personal experience, if you take this twice a day with food, my personal experience, the recovery time from a maximum output extended exercise from a non-professional athlete like myself. I mean, maybe I'm not even an athlete anymore. I'm more like a weekend warrior. But I'm telling you, the recovery time was pretty much cut in half, and my endurance was much better. I actually went about 25% further on my last ride than I had before. So anyway, Atrantil, check it out. It's very good for you. Polyphenols. Do your own research. It's one of the most explosively, revolutionizing nutritional supplements on the market. Check it out. That's lovemytummy.com /Spoony and get your discount there. All right. Dr. Brown also has another great product. It's a CBD product. I'm not going to talk about CBDs. I've talked to you about them before. They're basically the body's stop and go sign, so to speak. They allow certain molecules to pass through from one system to another. So where major, where major systems of the body, such as the immune system and the autoimmune system, right? The autoimmune system and say the autonomic nervous system, which work together. That's all that stuff you don't think about: breathing, heartbeat. You don't think about that stuff, right? All that stuff happens, but unless you actually focus and concentrate on it, it happens by itself. The way that those two interact, that's regulated by a lot of different substances, one being CBD. And your body produces it, but most people in the United States, there's a big study by, I think it's Stanford University. Most people are found to have a it's called a chronic CBD or cannabinoid deficiency, right? Doesn't matter. It's a deficiency in your body. So I can't go into the science because the guys in the white lab coats in Washington say I can't talk about the viable properties of this and why it's important to you. But try it out. CBDs are great if you have aches and pains and inflammation and other issues that just come along with beating your body up in age and maybe some other health issues that are deeper rooted. It can help. And from personal experience, it has helped me very much. So you can go to, it's KBMD. That's Kenneth Brown, MD, KBMDhealth.com. And check it out. There's also, you know what? You can actually go to mojo50.com, or I think you can go to Spoony.com, and it should be in our shopping cart. If it's not in the Spoony basket, please let me know, because you get it's about a $10 discount on the product. And, CBDs are not inexpensive, but this one is definitely worth it. That's kbmdhealth.com, or you can go to foodbizpro.com and go to our shopping cart and you can find it there. All right, so let's get to some of these comments real quick. Oh, shoot, I never got to vacation. All right, comments, then vacation stuff. All righty. Let's see. Hello, Pat. How are you? Douglas Gamir. I know that's you, Pat. Let's see. Dustin Clodo. Agave is good. Dustin says, agave is a good alternative for honey or sugar as a sweetener. Usually get it for camping. Agave is a good low glycemic alternative, but there's a specific brand. They're not a sponsor of this show. I don't have any personal interest in this company, but there's one called, what is it called? It's from a very specific region of Mexico where this agave, it's called volcanic nectar. Volcanic nectar. And you can find it online. You might be able to find it in a local health food store. I don't think Whole Foods or anything like that carries it. It's not, mass distributed through retail stores, but it's very good. It's the lowest, I want to say the lowest glycemic index sweetener as far as agave goes. And what I liked about it is there's no bitter aftertaste. Agave can have kind of a funky, not chemically aftertaste, but it's got a bitterness to it, as do most sweeteners that aren't from cane or beet sugar. And that's a really good one. And it is good you can use it in your coffee or anything else you want to do. It just like as you would do any other sweetener. As far as baking goes, I'm not sure how that works as a ratio, but I'm sure I could find that out if anybody wants to use it on a regular basis for baking and as a replacement for other stuff. Sharon Ballenbecker says, Ron White. Sean Sheeler, Ron. Let's see. Sharon Ballenbecker said, forgot the caps lock was on. That's funny because her caps and lowercase are reversed. Let's see. Sean Sheeler, Glenn Willis tequila. Ever had it? Yes, I have had it actually, and it's very good. It's a smoked agave, and it's actually got some notes of some of the mezcals have. Now, I know that tequila is the topic of the day since it's National Tequila Day, but if you try a mezcal, ask your store owner, your liquor store owner, which one you should try, because there are some that are really, the first mezcals I tried were kind of this, like rock gut tequila. So rough going down. You never wanted to have more than a sip or one shot. It was tequila, right? But in mezcal form. So but there's some really refined ones, and it's got a very interesting, there is this kind of, there can be this roughness to it, but with purpose, It's kind of like Anthony Bourdain was the bad boy, kind of the how do you say it? The a-hole friend that you wanted to hate or not, that you wanted to dislike, but he was so intriguing and entertaining you couldn't let him go. Well, that's kind of certain mezcals are that way. They have this character that you just can't shake it, and you want to keep drinking it. So I would ask your local proprietor what you should try. Travis Watkins, I can't find number one tequila. It's in several places in Georgia, just not my town. I'm going to keep requesting it till it shows up. You know what? If they do sell it in Georgia, then they can probably ship it to you, because they do ship. If you go to the number Juan, I think it's numberonetequila.com. If you go to their website, though, then you can find it there. There's a tater salad tequila. Yeah, there is. Well, it's called number Juan. Anyway. Holly-Ann C says, me too. I love sugar on the margaritas. Yeah, I like sugar on the margaritas, but I like it a mix. Sean Sheeler says, like sugar in the raw. Yeah, something like that. There's like granulated Demerara sugar. Or Demerara sugar. There are other ones you can buy as well. All right. Rack Attack Barbecue. Oh, by the way, good job yesterday, Brandon Anderson, hosting the second hour of the Food Biz Pro Show. It was a pleasure to have you in studio. And man, once you got warmed up, you were rolling. And that hour goes quick, doesn't it? So Rack Attack, Brandon Anderson says Don Julio. Don Julio is very good. Cabo Wabo, not bad. Let's see. Richard Brandt says, I forgot to look for the number one. I think I already addressed that one. Glenn Willis. Okay. I think we're caught up for the most part. Yeah. Coffee Patron, Milagro. Hello. Oh, yeah. Travis Watkins. He says, don't forget to mention bloating with the Atrantil. Hey, it works. I'm telling you, firsthand experience. I'm old. My diet is not that great, and we're not going to talk about the rest of the details. It works. It's really good. Be sure and take it with food, though. The Atrantil, really, you should take it with food up to 3 times a day, 2 tablets each time, and it works very well. Pat Gamir, a friend in college, shot most of a quart of tequila after filling a waste. Oh, yeah. I'll bet after filling a waste basket, they couldn't touch the stuff for decades. I have the same love-hate relationship with Jack Daniels. There was one time when I was a young man, probably too young to admit to, that I had a bad night with Mr. Jack, and I had a bad night, Mr. Daniel. I can be around it now, but for many years I couldn't even smell it, even if it was mixed in somebody's other cocktail. I couldn't stand the smell. It's got this, just an aroma I didn't want to smell. It's okay now. Let's see. Pat Gamir says we use agave as the sweet in your margaritas. That's cool. So instead of using something like triple sec or the Cointreau, do you use any other product, or you just use the agave with more orange and then add lime and or lemon? Curious. All right. So I need to get back to this vacation stuff, right? I was looking. Nope, don't need that open there. I was looking at how many days of vacation most countries take compared to the U.S. And I thought about that because, again, producer Jeff, handed me this. And you know what? This little smartwatch on my wrist is pretty damn smart. But you know what? Stop telling me to stand up. It's time to stand up in the middle of the show. I'll stand up when I want to, damn it. And yes, Siri, you can note that. Yes, I'm not standing up right now. Sorry. This comes from something called a Lifestyle Information Service. And, Jeff gets these updates every day, and he thought some of these might be interesting for me to talk on the show. I was thinking back when I read this first one. It said vacation shaming was the title of this first little paragraph. Forbes magazine apparently did some study on this, and I think there's actually an article on it, which I did not read the whole thing. But it says Americans don't use all their vacation time, and that's true. A lot of us roll them over. Well, I get as many vacation days as I want, but either way, it doesn't affect my pay. You can figure that out on your own, I'm sure. Vacation shaming. Americans don't use all their vacation time. Around 41% of employees leave vacation days on the table. One reason why? Vacation shaming. Vacation shaming. Never heard of it before, but we're going to find out. I can imagine what it is. Vacation shaming is where coworkers and bosses use peer pressure and guilt trips to discourage employees from taking time off. A poll of more than 1,000 adults found that around half, actually 51%, hadn't taken a vacation in more than a year, and over a third, 36%, had their last big getaway at least 2 years ago. In addition, the survey showed that only 42% of Americans feel certain they would take a summer vacation this year. So that's from July 23rd this year from Forbes magazine and Alliance Global Assistance. 42% of Americans feel certain they won't take a summer vacation this year. 36% had their last vacation getaway at least 2 years ago, and 51% hadn't taken a vacation in more than a year. Why is that? Why do we not take our time off? And why would we have guilt associated with that? No, regardless of what anyone in the workplace says. Honestly, if we're owed it, then we should take it. Unless, I'm going to dig a little deeper here, and I'm gonna not point fingers specifically, but I'll be honest with you. We are not the most productive workforce in the world. Actually. We are. If you ask me, you honestly want my opinion, we are one of the least productive workforces in the. Producer Ron, you're excluded from that, dude. You're a badass machine. Keep doing what you do. I'm not. That does not aim towards you, and no one necessarily I know specifically. I mean, I'm sure I could think of a couple, but that's not the point. We as Americans let so much crap interfere with our workday every day. This is not pointed towards anyone, and this is not a personal reference towards me or anybody, but we do. We spend half the day on Facebook, another quarter of the day on, Instagram, right? Calling our kids on the phone, going outside, take a smoke break. I got to run and get coffee. It's a freaking wonder we get anything done. Honestly, I'm telling you, we are the worst workforce in the world. By far. Yeah, you can take it out on me. I'm not calling anybody out specifically. We are lazy when it comes to spending our time at work. We are terribly, terribly distracted. Man, in Germany, if somebody saw Facebook open on your company computer in Germany, they'd throw you out the freaking 4-story window and say, fired, bye-bye. And I'm not talking about Nazi Germany. I know I'm not saying because they're unkind and cruel. It's because in Germany, they work their asses off for 8 hours a day. They do. They work their asses off. Now, Spain, maybe not quite the same. France, maybe not quite the same. And I'm not digging on France and Spain. There are plenty of hardworking people all around this country, all around this world, including this country. I know y'all work. I'm not talking to anyone specific. I'm just saying, as a workforce, we as a nation are not very dedicated. We aren't. I'm very guilty of it. I let all sorts of things creep in my workday, and then I bitch about it at the end of the day. I do. I didn't get this done. I didn't get that done. I didn't get this done. I didn't get that done. Well, I'll just have to stay late tomorrow. No. Focus, people. Focus. It's funny because I bitch about people having their phone out, like at a dinner table or if I'm in a restaurant and I see other people that are, it looks like they're texting each other back and forth at the table. When, I'm just as busy checking emails, right? Responding to texts, looking something up. Look, hey, what's up? I got to make this a good show because, our landlord's here, so I got to look pretty. Actually, Tim Eaton's in house, bringing some guests through. It's always good to see his face. They're actually building this really cool studio downstairs that I'm hoping to turn into a full kitchen studio. They're going to turn it into a kind of an event hall with a live stage, and they're building it in such a way that we can convert this service area into a full kitchen studio. I'm working on that. I'm hoping Cambria Counters and Flooring is still on the hook for some materials and maybe a little bit of money. Did I just call them out like that? I'm gonna have to tag them in this after we get done here. I need to reach out. There's some other sponsors we're looking for. We'd really like to start doing some full production video content. So anyway, good to see Tim in house today and their guests as well. So. Back to the story. Overall, I'm not. This is not anything against American society at all, right? The thing is, we choose to do what we do when we want to because we can, and we're very rarely held accountable for that. But the American workforce is very distracted. We're not lazy. We work very hard, but we're distracted. Did you know it takes you for every interruption in your workflow? Every interruption takes approximately twice as long to get anything done. One single interruption in your workflow can create twice as much work for you to accomplish a single task. This singular focus or laser-like focus on completing something. We don't have that here because we allow so many other interruptions to creep into our workday. And this is not a judgment. It's just it's become the norm, right? And look at me. My phone rings during the show, and I have to address the fact that the phone rang. Just ignore the freaking phone, turn it off, or leave it outside the studio, Patrick. It's probably just, it's probably Jeffrey Klein, my consulting partner, calling in the middle of the show because he forgot it's the middle of the show, and he needs some information or data from me or another white sheet on whatever new project we're doing. So we got about 2 minutes left. I'm going to talk about the vacation statistics and why it's important that we take that time off. Right. And that's not just the long vacations. That's the long weekends. That's our weekends. That's our evenings. Spend it with family. Spend it with your loved ones. Spend it with your partner. Spend it with your children. Spend it doing something for you. Right. Now, sometimes we have to work overtime, or sometimes we have work that we carry home with us. I get that. But when it constantly creeps into every day of our existence as an employee or even an owner in this country, then there's something wrong. There's no life-work balance there. Because and I'll tell you, I'm the prime example of that. It becomes all work and no life, right? It does. Are we working to live? The old adage, are you working to live or living to work? I end up living to work. Why? Bad choices. We built Spoony backwards. I'll tell you that much. That's a funny story. I'll tell you. I just figured it out. There's only It doesn't matter. We'll go to that another day because it's a long and interesting case study on business modeling, right? I don't think I can squeeze it in today. And besides, it's 2:00. Well, we got a full hour left. I might be able to. Anyway, we got about a minute left. Do you take your vacation? How much of your vacation did you take last year? Your allotted vacation. Sean Sheeler, did you take all your vacation last year? I mean, I took all my vacation. I don't really get, I work for myself. So unless I give it to me, I don't really get vacation. But downtime's important. But so is focused work time. And I think that's part of the reason we have this, we have allowed ourselves to be vacation shamed, right? Shamed into not taking vacation because I'm telling you, if you are doing what you need to do on a daily basis to get your job done, there's no way in hell anyone should ever make you feel guilty for taking time off. I don't care if it's your boss, the owner of your company, your coworkers. No one can make you feel that way. It's your earned time off. All right, more on that. I'm sure I got more to say on that in about 4 minutes. Stay tuned.
This is the only 24-hour take-anywhere platform dedicated to food and fun. We're Spoony.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Former Special Counsel Robert Mueller has repeated he was precluded from reaching a decision on possible obstruction of justice by the president because of Justice Department policy.
But in questioning by Colorado Republican Ken Buck, Mueller said that could change.
Could you charge the president with a crime after he left office?
Yes.
You believe that you could charge the president of the United States with obstruction of justice after he left office?
Yes.
At the start of his testimony, Mueller disputed claims by the president that he's been totally exonerated. During 3 hours of questioning, Judiciary Committee Republicans attempted to paint a picture of a 2-year investigation begun on false pretenses and led by a biased special counsel.
Capitol Hill correspondent Wally Hines reporting Mueller is now testifying before the House Intel Committee. The White House is reacting to the morning testimony of Mueller. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
President Trump retweeted comments from others, including Chris Wallace of Fox News, who said the House Judiciary Committee hearing has been a disaster for the Democrats and a disaster for the reputation of Robert Mueller. Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham called the morning testimony an epic embarrassment for the Democrats. And presidential lawyer Jay Sekulow said the testimony revealed that this probe was conducted by a small group of politically biased prosecutors. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Also at townhall.com, new British Prime Minister Boris Johnson seems to be clearing out top ministers, firing several members of former leader Theresa May's cabinet. So far, May's secretaries in defense, business, education, and international trade have all announced that they are leaving government. On Wall Street, stocks have been mixed. The Dow is down 123 points. The NASDAQ is ahead 39. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
Do you use the expensive blue or yellow pills to charge your sex life? Are you thinking about it? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pills deliver the exact same results for less than $3. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. And right now, radio callers will get 44 blue or yellow pills for $120 with free discreet shipping. You can save more than $700 off pharmacy prices. Charge your sex life now and save a ton of money. Call now and get your 44 pills and save over $700 and qualify for free shipping. Stop overpaying and call right now.
800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. 800-218-6473. That's 800-218-6473.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-452-1075. 800-452-1075. That's 800-452-1075.
Hello, welcome back. This is Chef Patrick Mosher, Food Biz Pro. We're here. Nah, come on, man. Chef Patrick Mosher. We're already to the main course 3, third segment of the show. Yes, we are going to be talking about vacation time. And actually, yeah, Gwen Rich, if you're listening, which you just texted me, yes, that will work. I didn't realize it. So, again, I've been talking about not looking at my phone during the segments. So I've been putting it down. Actually, I've been setting it down inside of my little handy-dandy notebook folder here, down beside my my handy-dandy booth here, so that I don't play with the phone during the show because I need to stay focused. Yes, of course that will work. She's in the car. But, okay, I will answer this, and I will put my phone back down, and I will look this time because apparently she was on hold for a little while, and I can only have one screen open at a time and look at it, so I didn't notice she was actually on hold. All right, this thing is killing me. All right, let's loosen this up a little bit. This thing is just not... There we go. All right, now... Come on. All right, at some point, I'm going to get this thing where it actually works, and I don't have to play with this mic all the time because does not like to. There we go. There we go. It keeps falling over one direction. All right, there we go. Stay. And there's Gwen. All right, I'm going to answer Gwen's call while I mess with the mic. Maybe she can talk for a minute. And hello, Gwen. Are you there? Oh, you know what? Hold on, Gwen. I don't think the phones are on mute on this. Hey, Ron. Producer Ron. Ronaldinho. Hey, Ron. Ron away. Okay. Hang in there. I have to go out and unmute the mics. Hold on. All right, everybody watching. No, I can't do that. I can't leave. Hold on. Let me try calling Ron. Ron. Hey, Siri. Oh, I'm sorry. Gwen called in. Can you unmute the mics for me, the phones? No, I have her. I just need to. I'm sorry. I was going to run out, but you know what? That's dead air, and who knows?
Apologize.
No, it's my fault. I should have told you to leave them unmuted. Kids got to call her. Hi, Gwen. How are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you, Chef Patrick?
I'm good. What's happening?
Nothing. I just thought, it was funny. I decided to focus and get all my work done early so I could take time off, and I thought, hadn't spoken to you in a while, and I called, and I'm sitting there in the queue for about 10 minutes. And what were you talking about?
Not getting work done.
About
so
people not taking time off.
Yes, and so I think one of the bigger things here is, look, we all like to feel like we have value in our workplace, and appearing busy a lot of times. It's not necessarily conscious, right? But appearing busy a lot of times is as important or more important than actually than being productive.
And efficient. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I was just talking about how important it is to take the time off. It's very important. If you've earned it, take it. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yep. Way to go.
So what are you doing? You running around like just playing hooky, or you never play hooky? You've got a million things to do.
Yeah, but you know what? The last couple weeks I've said, you know what? I've worked really hard for a couple years, and I normally don't take time off. But, I'm kind of burned out, but I really do focus on getting so much done. And when I'm done, like I just called it quits for today, and I'm going to go get food, for dinner. But it goes to right what you were talking about. So, other people can do it too. You've just got to focus, put away all that social media crap, and set your intentions for the day.
So social media is a great tool. It is in some ways unfortunate that it's become such an ingrained part of our daily lives, right? It's funny. Right. Simon Sinek says, if you wake up and look at your phone before you roll over and say hello to your partner in the morning, then it's an addiction. And I firmly believe that. And this is not pointed towards anybody. It is, right? I've been guilty of it at times.
Right.
But we are so so dependent on our interconnection to society in general, at large, and just need this constant recognition. When really, look, the only approval you need is yours and your loved ones. That's it. That's all you need. And and that shouldn't come through social media. It shouldn't have to. Anyway, it's crazy.
Well, people need to figure that out.
Yeah, so you know what? I think Adam. So if you don't know, this is Gwen Rich. She's the host of The Rich Solution. She has an amazing story. You can go to therichsolution.com. You can listen to her show Monday, Wednesday, Friday live at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. As well, she does like a little 3 to 5 minute video daily. You've done them daily. You've done how many 100 episodes now? It's crazy. I think you've done more shows than I have.
Yeah.
But
I don't think so.
No. I think if I look, I think you've done more shows than I have in total. But I think you may even have a total of more hours of airtime with your daily show. But check it out. She does a great, that I love your short daily videos. You give such great information in such a compact few minutes. It's kind of like low hanging fruit, right? Go take notes and go forth and make your day better. It's a good segment.
Exactly.
So
thank you. Yep.
What's new up there? I think why is Adam not shopping and cooking, or do you not want him cooking for you?
I've wanted him to since I've known him, but it just is not going to happen. He's so old school. If I'm going to eat something, I got to cook it. So
how is your?
I can't wait around anymore.
Does he at least hunt it and dress it? I mean, I'm just joking. He would if he had to. Adam is not one to sit still. He would hunt it and skin it and hand it over. I can tell you that if necessary, he'd do it.
Yeah. If that means, dialing it on the telephone number and calling the order in, that's how he gets it.
Hey, if you have the means, why not? I mean, that's funny. That's funny. So how is your puppy doing, by the way?
Oh, Bruin, he's awesome, actually. Yeah, he's ringing the bell to let us know he needs to go to the bathroom. He's doing awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, enjoying him.
Yeah, he's such a beautiful dog. He's very sweet and very rambunctious, but sweet, crafty little booger. Escaped several times while we were up there visiting. So what else is going on? I mean, what's going on with the Rich Solution, and how's Doc Thompson's Healthy Lifestyle Challenge going?
Yeah, well, that kind of fell by the wayside once Facebook cut off the notifications. We were never able to regroup, so I'll just have to encourage the group. I'm kind of reorganizing some stuff with business and coming up with a new challenge that'll be in the fall, so they could join then. But just focusing on, really doing less for more, and talking about my celery juice challenge, which I just posted a while ago.
I saw that. Somebody mentioned it.
Spoony.
Mm-hmm. Somebody just mentioned that. So tell me about the celery juice challenge.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping is probably for the next week or so, I'm going to keep posting positive benefits from celery juice, and hopefully people are going to see at the end that there's really no reason not to, and then get people started on this challenge. So show them all they need to do and when to do it, and then people can interact and say what kind of positive results they're having from it, because it can give you so many wonderful health benefits. So just really hoping I can get people to engage and respond and take the challenge with me.
Yeah, I mean it's I don't want to say it's all the rage, but it's becoming very popular now. What's interesting? There was this place, I'd never seen one before, but when I was living in Germany many years ago, not Germany, but Japan, in the late 80s and early 90s even, they had these juice bars, right? And these were in fancy hotels. But a lot of the things that they had were like celery apple juice, right? And I was like, celery and apple? But I like that the kind of astringent nature of celery and that unique flavor, especially when paired with something else. It's fantastic. But I'm going to have to get into this because I need to start being better to myself. So I kind of fell by the wayside with the Doc Thompson's Healthy Lifestyle Challenge. I have to admit, it's one of those things that happens.
Life gets in the way. It's hard. I mean, it happens to all of us. So
I know.
You know what? Just regroup and just start today. Do something today. That's all.
I did.
It doesn't even have to be juicing.
No, but can I tell you, what is that wonderful juicer you have? Because I really want to start promoting them. It's the most amazing juicer. It's not the easiest to use. It can be, but with the pressing of the cloth and getting everything up. But it's that's the most amazing machine I've ever seen.
Yeah, the Norwalk juicer. It is amazing. I know it's at a price point where it might be out of people's range, but the wonderful thing about it is that you can do so much more with it other than juicing. So if you're someone who's trying to eat healthier, instead of getting peanut butter and you want to make your own peanuts or almond butter, you can do that with the juicer. If you want to make desserts, you can just take straight fruit like bananas that are frozen and make a frozen dessert. I mean, that's just a few examples. So we can do way more than other juicers. So, yeah, it's Norwalk juicer. It's amazing.
I just put
absolutely.
They are amazing. Norwalk juicers are the best. We need one for the Spoony studio. So hopefully they'll see this.
Yes, I will work on that.
Well, you know what? It'd be even if it were one that we could just use as a demo, it would be great because I don't have to use it. I can't really cook in this studio, but being able to do some cool demos would be awesome. And just spending an entire hour, running through the process of just different juices that could be made. I won't be able to wash the machine in between, but I can still go through the juices. Maybe do another segment on nut butters and things like that. I think it'd be awesome.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree with you.
Then you could walk me through it. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, be glad to do that. I mean, it's something we use every day in my household. So it gets plenty of use.
I know. It's
awesome. Very grateful that I have it.
So I have a question about fresh juices that you make at home. I know that you can't do, you can't make every single bottle of juice because how many juices do you go through a day, Gwen?
I'm only doing 7 right now. So I mean, I was doing 13, went to 5, and now I've added the 2 celery juices. So it's 7, which still is manageable. So yeah.
For
what
you,
was your question?
For you, it's manageable. No, what I was going to ask though is how can you make those ahead of time for the day, or will they last longer than a day, or do you have to make smaller batches, 1/2 day at a time, or I know it depends on the enzymes in this particular mix.
Question. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so these are cold pressed juices, and so someone like myself who's got cancer or someone who's got autoimmune or some type of a health condition, it's all about the enzymes, and so you want them fresh. So you really would do them as you want to juice them, whether that's in the morning, afternoon, or nighttime. But, I've been doing it for 2.5 years now, and I've gotten myself to a certain point. So it's done once a day, where when I first started the Gershon therapy, it was juicing, like 4 times a day. But the average person doesn't need to do that. They will last up to 7 days. A lot of times they'll say only 4 to 5 days, but it is passable. You could get them to last 7 days. But you really want them, the sooner the better, because you want those enzymes fresh before they deteriorate.
And
so fresher the better.
So is that because of the enzymes just to start to break down, or just in general the general quality of the product? I know fermentation starts after a certain amount of time if there's any sugar in the product.
Right. Yeah. So the enzymes they don't last. They're right there at the beginning, and that's the best time to do it. And then the longer they sit, they don't last.
That makes sense.
So yeah.
You mean they don't taste good after 2 weeks?
No, gosh, no. So here's another thing, because I know, no, but that's a great question, because I went to visit my daughter about a month ago, and she juices on her own. She has lupus, so she's really helping herself. She got a juicer, and she found something at one of the local grocery stores, and she, took a picture and sent it to me. What about this one, Mom? Is this okay? Well, it had a month expiration date on it, and it was claiming to be a cold-pressed juice.
No way.
So this juice is going to be better than, let's say, if you have, chips or fried food or processed foods. But the thing is, if it's a month, that means it's either pasteurized or it's going through some type of a process that actually destroys those enzymes. So you're not getting those benefits like you think you are. You're getting some, but people really have to, it's where you got to educate yourself on this stuff. They have to be fresh. They really shouldn't last longer than 6 to 7 days. So beware of all those juices that have an expiration date of a month.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, I just from experience, I produced some not shelf stable, but even refrigerated, extended shelf life refrigerated products. And specifically, we did a shrimp cocktail that had no preservatives in it. Now there was a little bit of citric acid in there, but that's just basically crystallized lemon juice. It is actually crystallized lemon juice. So, but there was nothing else in it. And you have to send those things off for bacterial, like they do a shelf test, where every day they test to see where in the growth cycle curve this product is in the bacterial growth curve, right? So every day they test, and what I found interesting is, you get to a certain point, like 7 days, 10 days, whatever it is, and all of a sudden it just goes crazy. It goes off the charts because you've gotten this critical mass that starts. And I'll tell you, fresh juices, anything with that kind of, even though you wash the product, there's a possibility that it's going to have some bacteria left from the soil. I mean, there's no doubt, because there's no way to sterilize the vegetable before you press it, right? Or fruit.
Right, correct.
Secondly, even under refrigeration, bacteria still grow. And so, you're using a raw product that comes from the ground, from the earth. There's no way to sterilize it. You have typically some sort of, even if it's just a little, residual sugar or some other carbohydrate that the bacteria can live on. And so you're right. There's no way that a cold pressed juice could have any nutritional properties after 30 days, not without some sort of treatment, which that treatment in itself is going to kill or diminish the enzymatic activity and probably some of the nutrition in it. And above and beyond that, now, Gwen, do you store? I know you use glass quart containers, right?
I do, but when I travel, I have the PBA-free ones because
keep the light out.
I've tried using the glass ones, and unfortunately, I would get to my destination, and you know how the airlines with the baggages, and I would end up with broken bottles. And when you're trying to use that as a treatment or whatever, it would just totally freak me out to get where I needed to and have some of my juices just, ruined because they broke all the bottles. So when I travel, it's plastic PBA. At home, it's glass.
So again, if you're just joining us, we have Gwen Rich, the host of the Rich Solution, is on the phone with us. She's on daily, actually, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at 9 a.m. Central. That's 10 a.m. East Coast, and she's live. She actually has a studio in her home, and she broadcasts live from there. It's a great show, food, nutrition, and just some overall ways to keep yourself healthy, especially if you're dealing with cancer, trying to prevent cancer. She has a wonderful story. If you go to therichsolution.com and check that out. Now, we're talking about how you store, what containers you use to store them. Because you're doing it daily, it's not a problem, but I know if you're going to store them longer, that glass is great, except for one thing, that the light can infiltrate that, and light, like air, oxygen, is one of the killers of nutrition in any product that's any kind of fresh juice or liquid, actually. And it starts to deteriorate the longer it's exposed. Granted, yours is very short term. It's 1 day. I mean, it's not a problem. But if you're going to store juices longer, then is there an alternative that's maybe specific light frequencies that's resistant to that people could put them in? I know the PBA-free containers are good. Is there anything else? How about stainless steel? Or is that going to give it a metallic taste?
Yeah, that I don't think you should use. I don't know of anything. I mean, the bottom line is these cold-pressed juices are meant to be drunk immediately. So I wouldn't even want to go that route where you're trying to find something to help block out the light. I know that's important, but that means it's sitting in your refrigerator for a long period of time. So if you just really think short-term, you'll be fine.
Well, look, and if you're juicing for health, juicing every day is probably the best route anyway. You say it's meant to be drunk right away. Well, I'm meant to be drunk on the weekends only. So, just joking. I need to have Adam on to talk about wine with me sometime. He's got a great wine collection.
Yes, he would love to. He loves wine. I don't drink wine anymore, but I know I enjoyed it when we used to. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know you rarely break down and have a glass of anything, but so what do you do when you want to look? I don't call them cheat days or I don't call it cheating when you do something. I call it a treat, because if you work so hard to stay healthy and exercise every day, and I mean you are very regimented, obviously, because you have a cause, you have a purpose to outlive your expiration date, which you've done unbelievably, and I hope people go and check out your story if they don't know it. What do you do for yourself? If you want to give yourself a treat, what do you do?
What I do now, and this was after my 5-year mark when I really felt, okay, I hit a pivotal mark, is I started doing, the dark chocolate, the bitter sweet chocolate squares. That is a real treat for me because I don't do any other sugar. And it's, it's a mindset, but also the longer you do the lifestyle I have and the choices I've made, the easier it gets. I don't crave all that stuff. In fact, I look at so many of the processed foods and it just does not do anything for me. So, but I mean, like when you were in town, remember, I had nachos. I mean, that would be something, if there's, so that was a treat for me, definitely a treat. And that tends to be, like if I go to Mexico, I'll have nachos, where I typically will not have that because I don't do the chips and I don't do dairy and rarely do any meat, animal meat. So that's a treat. I don't have a lot of them, but the biggest one on a regular basis is the bittersweet, and has to be over 70%. So.
Well, I'll tell you, I know how difficult it is to cook several different meals in a household every day, and you do it every day. You cook for you and you cook for the family, and God bless you. You do a fantastic job of maintaining not just the lifestyle that has helped you just to stay this healthy, and really help slow the pace of all that you're dealing with. I mean, it's a terrible affliction. I lost my father to cancer, and my mother died in a diabetic coma. It's very difficult, and to be that dedicated for that long, not just to yourself but the entire family, without making sure they're not neglected. And I have to tell you, you make the best orange chicken outside of which is a duplicate of a very famous restaurant chain's chicken. That's really good, Gwen. I need to. I mean, I know
you're so funny.
Oh, it's awesome! It's awesome.
Well, there's so many things that you taste and you do, and the amazing dishes you make. That's funny that you would say that, but my kids love it, so it's one of those staples when they come back into town. So that's fine.
It's better than going to that chain and buying it. So, did you know that for that? All right, well, we're talking about, it's like Panda Express, right? They're their biggest seller. That's like 80% of their sales, 75% of all their sales.
Yeah. Oh, everybody loves it. Yeah, everywhere you go. Even when you're in Mexico and they have it at the airport, everybody gets that one, and that's because it has a lot of sugar in it too.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I think one of the underrated things in the United States, we don't really do stir fries, so to speak, as part of our culture across the board here. And I think there's a way that you can have healthy, extremely flavorful food, just whether it's stir fried or just sautéed over really under really high heat conditions. It's a really effective way to get very flavorful food very quickly, with just a little bit of chopping, and slicing and dicing that people don't think about. I'm gonna have to do a little series on that. But what's your favorite?
Yeah, that's your expertise.
I know. You'd think about, maybe I should actually talk about food a little more. Nah, I don't. But so when's your next?
Andrea was right.
Andrea Favilli, you're talking about. He's funny. Yes, he was right. And so yes. I'm gearing up more that way. I toyed around with the idea of just doing one live 2-hour show a week, and then being in the field the other days and doing some live spots as well as the short form content on YouTube and Facebook Live and giving people a little more of what, because I can't slice, dice, chop, cook in here, but I can talk about food. It's just hard to show it. So, Gwen, are you going to stay over? You got things to do? I'm going to talk about wine next.
I do have stuff to do. Yeah, I can't really talk much about wine anymore, but I'll have Adam give you a call someday. You guys can chat about that.
Absolutely.
But,
well, Gwen, thanks for calling in. Again, Gwen Rich from the Rich Solution. Check her out Monday, Wednesday, Friday live here on Spoony Radio. And daily, she does a quick video for us. Gwen, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Patrick.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
All right, there we go. That was awesome.
Follow Chef Patrick Mosher on Twitter at Food Biz Pro. Why have thousands of aspiring authors teamed up with Christian Faith Publishing to publish their book? Because Christian Faith Publishing is an author-friendly publisher who understands that your labor is more than just a book. We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process, professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the publishing industry. And as always, you will retain 100% of the rights to your book.
I was looking to find a company that I could trust, one that assisted in the editing process completely.
The most important qualities that I was looking for was a publisher who was honest and upfront, no hidden costs or fees, and owning the rights to my own work.
Christian Faith Publishing will publish, market, and sell your books in all major bookstores, online booksellers, as well as specialty Christian bookstores. Call for your free author submission kit.
800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. 800-978-4812. That's 800-978-4812.
Never Forgotten Apparel is more than just a premium women's and men's clothing line. It's a movement to remind us to wear American-made and serve those who serve us. Our heroes. Never Forgotten Apparel gives 20% of their total sales to nonprofits that support homeless veterans and off-duty firefighters, and 50% to individual veterans and firefighters in need nationwide. Check out neverforgottenapparel.com. Use promo code MATT, M-A-T-T, and get 15% off your purchase.
Dr. Ken Brown here, host of Gut Check Project with my co-host Eric Rieger. I've seen in my practice that Atrantil is a whole lot more than just a bloating product.
Yes, it does a whole lot more than just fix bloating because of the polyphenols that you find in Atrantil.
What are some of the things that these polyphenols do, Eric?
These polyphenols can help you have more energy, and polyphenols are great for athletes.
It sounds like it's going to help a whole lot more people than just bloating. Go to lovemytummy.com/Spoony.
And I'm back. Yep. You're stuck with me. Sorry. That was nice. Gwen is such an amazing lady. If you have not read about Gwen Rich, the host of the Rich Solution, she's an amazing soul. She was misdiagnosed for, I believe, 8 years with just all sorts of ailments that they couldn't pinpoint. And she ended up, I believe, with being diagnosed again after 8 years. It's I'm gonna make sure I say it right. It's metastatic breast cancer, and if you don't know about it, read about it. It's a terrible affliction, and she is one of the healthiest stage 4 cancer. Well, she's one of the healthiest individuals I know, but she's at stage 4. She's been at stage 4 and holding, I believe, for just right at 6 years. So, God bless her and Adam. And I hope that, just continue the fight. Anything we can do to help. And call in as often as you want. Have Adam call in. We'll talk, food, cigars, and wine because Adam's a good guy too. Anyway, interesting story. Very interesting family. Amazing children. And I'd love to have her son on sometime. Their youngest son is he's in nursing school, and he's got a fantastic story. So we met him when we were up in Chicago a few months ago, back in May, and just a great story. I'd like to share that with you. All right, so we are back to real quick vacation time. I'm not going to tell you to blah blah blah. Take your vacation time. Don't shame others. Don't be shamed by taking your vacation time off. Yep. Here's the deal: when you're at work. Put your freaking phone down. Close your browser and work. 8 hours, 10 hours, whatever your shift is. As a matter of fact, when I in kitchens when I'm the executive chef or opening a restaurant. Now, as the acting executive chef, director of operations, whatever the hell my position is, doesn't matter. You have to put your phone in my office for the duration of your shift. I don't care. If somebody calls, they have the restaurant number, they have my number, that's what they get. Right? That's the rule. Now, that kind of goes away as people start to get trusted. But when you start, or as you earn my trust, then you put your phone away. It's gone. It's gone for the duration of the shift. And, smoke breaks don't exist in my kitchens anymore. Because if you smoke, you can't taste the food. If you can't taste the food, then you're not making my recipes correctly, because you need to taste the food, every sauce that's made, every dish that goes out the door, everything you're not going to take a bite of someone's steak, but you need to be able to taste the other components on that dish, especially the sauces. So, no, you don't smoke in my kitchen. I mean, if you want to smoke when you're not at work. That's fine. Before your shift, after your shift. Most restaurants are smoke-free now anyway, so I don't want you smoking within 5 feet of the back door. As a former smoker myself, I understand how difficult it is to get through a workday. Then you know what? It's better for you to quit. Just quit smoking. And don't vape either. That's even worse. It's nasty, by the way. I won't talk about it. I'd like to instill a rule here that there's no vaping in this whole studio facility, but I haven't gotten there yet. So I pick my battles, folks. I choose my battles wisely. So we were talking about vacation. I want to go through this real quick, and then we're going to talk a little bit of wine, but, maybe we'll just mix wine with vacation. As far as the number of vacation days people get in each country, and this is just a sampling. This is, I think, Afghanistan it has the highest. Now, I'm not, but how many people actually from this country go there, visit and work, unless the military? Not many. So let's talk about countries that we associate with on a regular basis. I mean, we're talking a lot of people. I don't even want to. Okay, a large portion of this country, perhaps their lineage may come from one of these countries, right? In the past, maybe in the past 100 years, but maybe not in the last 10 or 20 or 30. So let's look at this number of days by country in comparison to other countries. Just a snapshot across the world. United Kingdom, UK. UK comes in at number 1. The total number of days they get annually. All right. Total number of days? 37. 28 are days of annual leave required by law. 9 are public holidays. Damn, 9 public holidays. That's a bunch, but that's cool. In France, 25 days of annual leave. 11 additional public holidays. That is 36 in total. Let's see. Spain, 22 days of annual leave, 14 public holidays, 36 total days. Let's see. Germany, 20 and 13 for a total of 33. Now, Germany varies a little bit because I know the public holidays are based on, it's decided by state. So I lived in Nord Rhine-Westfalen. That's North Rhine-Westphalia. It's a Catholic region, so they had a few extra days. I think they have the full 13. A lot of them have 9 or 10. It's between 10 and 13, but we had the maximum. All right, so Germany has 33 days paid days off. Now, 20 of these are required by law. Look at this. UK, 28. 25 in France. Spain, 22. Germany, 20. Chile, 15. 15 paid days required by law. And another 15 public holidays. Australia, 20 paid days off required, 8 public holidays. Japan, 10 with another 15 public holidays. That's surprising. Japan has 10. I didn't know that they had 10 days off that were required by law, but that makes sense. Israel, 11, 10 public holidays. So wait a minute. Israel has 10 public holidays. Spain has 14 public holidays. Interesting. Religious capital of the world, Israel, birthplace of Judaism, Christianity, and all sorts of other stuff. 10 paid holidays. I find that interesting. In Japan, and 10 in Israel, and 15 in Japan, and they're not all religious based. I know that, but it's just curious. All right, Canada, 10 required by law. 9 public holidays. Mexico, 6 required by law. 6 days of annual leave required. Public holidays, 7 for a total of 13. The U.S., dun, da, 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 0 days of annual leave required by law for full-time employees, and number of public holidays are 10. But there aren't 10 public holidays where everyone's off work. Those are just federal holidays, right? That's where the feds close down, the state governments close down, but you got to go in and pay the bills. 0 required days off in the United States. Now, they're calling for this Employees' Bill of Rights in Washington right now. I'm not really a big fan of that. I don't necessarily think it should be mandated by the government, but look, if you're a full-time employee of a company and you work not a minimum of 35. If you work on the average 40 hours a week and you're a full-time employee who gets other benefits, which a lot of states don't require you to have either. California does require if you work, I think, 30 hours or more, you have to be offered health insurance, which is very expensive for the employer. But 0 required days off in this country. Now, as an entrepreneur, I have a love-hate relationship with the system. But if you are gifted vacation days by the company you work for, take them by all means. There should be no reason. If you have done your job to the best of your ability, worked efficiently and as effectively as you can, and maybe you weren't even efficient, maybe you're learning a job, but if you worked focused on your job, your role within a company during your time every day that you're supposed to be focused on that, amen, brother or sister. Take the vacation time. Do not be a martyr. Do not fail to go, to pass go and collect your $200. Take the damn vacation. Take the time off. You will thank yourself. You will. There are some stats. I want to post that. So I'm going to look at a different one here. U.S. stats on work productivity. Let's see. Workplace. Distractions. There we go. How about that one? Let's look at all right. Workplace distraction. Ta-da. Yes, distraction costing companies millions of dollars. So, this is a study from last year. We'll go through a couple stats here, right? And I think I've seen this one before. So, distraction are costing companies millions. Here's why 66% of workers won't talk about it. Focus at work is the exception, not the rule. Can I tell you, I was finishing up high school in Germany, and so I went to school half a day. I had a job for a company called Fanler Verpackaging. Fair Packaging, Fanler Packaging, right? It's a company based out of the Netherlands. They had an office in Cologne, Germany, and they had about 600 boxes of documents that needed to be filed and recorded and put in the right order. Literally like 600 boxes, like the filing boxes from years gone by that needed to be ordered and taken care of. Anyway, so I'm looking at, I sat in a room. I was in high school. All right. I was 18 years old, and it was the 13th grade over there, right? The last class. So I'm sitting in high school. I'm sitting in this room, and it's a big room. I mean, it's like not quite cavernous. It's not a warehouse, but I'm sitting in a room by myself with stacks of boxes and one desk kind of surrounded by that and me. That was my work environment. I'm not bitching. I'm not complaining. There was no complaint there. But I sitting there, and I worked. I worked 8.5 hours a day from the time I got off school and got there and got out at 8. And I ordered my lunch, which was went to the cafeteria. I pre-ordered it when I went in, and I brought it back to my desk. It was a Brötchen, these little German hard rolls. They're kind of crunchy on the outside, really soft bread, white breadish on the inside. And I got Brötchen and Schinken with butter. That was it. So that's with butter, and it's an Italian. It's a style of prosciutto almost, right? It's a smoked prosciutto, and that was it. I got 2 of those, and nope, can't take that call. Sorry, Dr. Claude. That was Dr. Claude, by the way, calling me about the avocado affair. It's this amazing book and recipe series that's coming up. We'll be having on Spoony exclusively here on Spoony Radio's social media platforms. So look for that coming soon. Anyway, so back to the story. Oh, okay. Oh, do I have a phone call? Illinois. Let's see. I have a phone call. Hello, caller. This is Patrick. Oh, is it Adam? Adam, are you there?
Oh, hey, Patrick.
Hey, Adam, how are you?
I'm
Sorry,
right here.
I didn't know you were calling. So here's the thing: I can't keep all the screens open on my browser at once. So I didn't know you were calling in. But how are you?
I'm doing well.
I know she's.
But I'm running short on time, but I got a few minutes here. Market closes here in about 15 minutes. But Gwen said to call in. You wanted to talk about wine.
Hey, yeah. So real quick, look, I was just telling.
Wine?
Yeah, I was two things. I was telling people how important it is to take their time off. The only reason that someone would not take their time off of work because someone vacation shames them into not taking their vacation days is that they don't do the job they're supposed to do when they're there. And secondly, look, you've earned it. Take the time, come back refreshed, and focus. And so. Along with that, typically on Wednesday, I have my friend that calls in from Northwest Arkansas. She's my Wine Down Wednesday guru, and she's not on today. And I thought, it'd be kind of fun to talk to Adam about wine someday. And apparently today's the day. So,
well, let's talk about Gwen's favorite wine. I understand she was on earlier. Do you know her?
I don't want to go to Florida.
No. I don't. I want to go to the islands. That's her favorite wine.
Well, you know what?
So being from Chicago, you know what we did last week?
Did you go to Cancun?
I took her down to Blue Island, then we went to Stony Island, then we went to Rock Island, then we came back to Deerfield for dinner.
Hey, at least you didn't take her to Ellis Island. At least you didn't take her to Ellis Island, right? So Adam, I've been in your cellar, I've been in your basement. You have a nice little wine room down there, a little collection. Do you have a favorite grape, like a varietal of that you enjoy the best or the most?
Not necessarily. And, people are constantly, listen, I have some really nice wines in my cellar. We started collecting wines back when we got married. And, we probably opened a bottle of wine almost every night. But then she got pregnant. We stopped drinking. And all of a sudden I had all these wines because we still kept buying them. But people always ask you, what's the best wine? What's good wine? I'll tell you straight up. If you like the wine, it's a good wine. And I would say it's not indicative of price.
It is not indicative of price.
It is not. It is not. Back in '92, there was a fellow that I worked with who had to liquidate his cellar. And my partner and I, we bought, and they had all these first growth Bordeaux's, Lafittes, Margots, Latours. So at the time, I could afford a half a case of this, a case of that, and they were 85s, 86s, 87s, 89s.
Oh, good years.
And they've just been, those were really, the 80s were really good years if you're a wine aficionado. But they've been sitting in my cellar for, 25 years now. And occasionally, if you go to Vegas, you go to a real fine restaurant, you'll see some of these wines on their menu. A lot of chefs like to have them, in case somebody orders and wants to impress somebody, as if that could. I guess it could be impressionable for someone, but to order a $1,000 or $1,500 bottle of wine. But as far as is it better than say a $25 or $50 bottle of wine? No, not necessarily, and it really depends on what you're eating as well. So.
A lot of times it has to do with the availability, right? Like Screaming Eagle is the most, is as far as I know. Well, there's one more expensive. I want to say there's a Pinot out of France that's probably the number one most expensive bottle at about $500,000. But Screaming Eagle right now, I think it's a 90 something, 95, 97. I don't remember what year. It's going right now for about $250,000, $300,000. Now, is the bottle worth that? Not necessarily, but the production is so limited, and the wait list is 10 years to get on the wait list. That it's a supply and demand thing many times. It's not that Lafitte had the best wine in the world that year. It's that there might only be 50 bottles left in the world. So of course you're going to pay through the nose for it.
Well, it's got to be a good wine. It's got to be a good wine, and generally it's impressionable for people who speak with the back molars too. So
a little Thurston Howell action there.
Doesn't do it. it doesn't do a whole lot for me,
So-
regardless.
But you do have some great wines down there.
Once in a while.
Do you have kind of a go-to if you're gonna open just crack a bottle, or you're gonna have a glass of wine at a restaurant? Do you typically drink a Cab or a Pinot, or is there a specific varietal? And then
You know what? No, not necessarily. It really all depends on what, it has to do with the weather, has to do with what we're eating, but the answer is no, and it's all to each individual person. Everyone has something that they particularly like, but to answer your question, no, not necessarily. I mean, I like Italian wines, just something that, but it depends what we're having for dinner.
Yeah, I mean, for me, if I can't find anything else, I'll order a Jordan Cab, and it doesn't really matter for me what the vintage is if it's in my price range that day or that month.
I'm gonna tell you. Yeah, I mean, you ask if you're pressing like a nice Chianti, even with something like pizza or something like that, it's good. So,
Well, I think also in America we don't appreciate table wines like they do in Europe. I mean, there are some, what we'd call just this cheap blend of wine. A lot of times is one of the best wines to have. I mean, because in France you go in, they have the house white and the house red in many cases, and then you can order a bottle. But and you get a great wine for the price. And you kind of get the best of both worlds. You'll get a great wine from that region that's made from the leftover, fermentation from grapes that are regional once they finish the production for those big vineyards. And that's something we don't have here so much. Some of these blends, these red and white blends, are getting more popular out of California and Oregon and Washington, but that's not a big thing here. Like the house wine is typically not. They don't exist for most restaurants.
I assume so.
All right.
Say so.
Look, I know that you got to get back to the market because you got a few minutes to close. But hey, what was that restaurant, the seafood restaurant that we went to with Doc and I think Tom was there, and we had Brad and myself and you and Gwen was with us as well. Do you remember it's not too far from where you live. It was near a mall. It was raining that night.
We went for pizza, I'm thinking, that night.
No,
after the restaurant association.
Yeah, it was during that time, but Mike Opelka wasn't with us. It was raining, and I want to say it was you gave us all a ride home because we all squished into your car, I think, instead of taking Uber.
You guys went to this was after the show.
No.
Everyone was squished in the car, and you drove.
No. It was with. So that was we were going over off of Randolph that time. It was with you, and it was raining. I think Gwen drove home on her own, and you drove us all the way back down to our Airbnb. There was I don't know if it might have been a Let Us Entertain You venue, maybe somewhere out by a mall.
It might have been De Pescara.
That was it.
Which is where we go. Yeah. That's where we went.
That was very good. We squished around that booth. Yeah, we squished around a booth, and
right. That's a go-to.
I'll tell you that was great food and a great atmosphere. And I'll tell you, if you're in the Chicagoland area, the Let Us Entertain You group, Rich Melman and his crew, they've been creating amazing dining concepts for years and years. Rich Melman, that group, revolutionized the restaurant industry in many ways. So if you get a chance, but Adam, I appreciate.
Great consistency.
Yeah, they're awesome. And their systems are the best. I learned so much from working with them when they bought the Trot House restaurants. And I was doing a restaurant. It's called Pio's on Coronado Island. I got to meet the man himself, and what a great group. Anyway, well, look, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to finish up. I got about 6-7 minutes left. Adam, thanks for calling. I'm sorry I kept you on hold.
Fair enough.
I'm trying not to look at my phone during the show. So
next time we can talk about cigars.
Awesome. Oh, I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks, Adam. Take care.
Okay. Take care.
All right. Bye. Again, that was Adam Rich. That's Gwen's lovely husband, and what a great family. They've treated everyone here. All of us. All of our friends and family with great respect, and what a great couple. Fantastic family. So, all right, back to the task at hand. Look, take your vacation time, folks. It's Wind Down Wednesday. So what are we going to do? Where should you go on vacation? If you got a week or more, then, take a trip overseas if you can afford it. Start saving for a few years. Matter of fact, you can make payments on vacations now. You can plan a year or two ahead, make a monthly payment, and go on vacation. The number one vacation destination is Italy right now. It's not just popular; it's the most popular tourist destination. A study identified Italy as the number one country people search for when planning their holidays. All right, well, that does not mean that it's the number one destination. It means it's the number one sought-after destination. We can't all afford it. Here's some good stuff. The title is Wednesday Vacation. It says, summer may have you dreaming of long weekends, but researchers say the best day to take a day off is usually, believe it or not, Wednesday. Taking a Wednesday off interrupts the monotony of the 9-to-5 work week, giving you an extra opportunity to sleep and wake naturally, which is healthier. That makes sense. That's the source is Reader's Digest magazine. Okay. Man, I'm going to call you out on this. It says they can't dance. Men don't like to dance. 63% of men need to be dragged onto the dance floor, and 34% flat out refuse to dance. So don't dance shame your man. Don't dance shame your man. But I can tell you, I had this talk with my son a long time ago. We were at a wedding, and he just, I don't know if he's embarrassed about dancing or something, but I'm not the most coordinated person in the world. Y'all see me try and get in and out of the booth here. I've tripped over the cord. Hell, I've tripped over nothing before getting in and out of here, and I've spilled coffee. I don't care. Dance anyway. Because if you get out there, close your eyes. Who cares? Close your eyes, dance like no one's there. It's fun. It's fun. So dance like no one's looking, and who the hell cares? Really. You ever seen guys in Europe dance? A group of guys here, group of the girls there. You know why? Because otherwise the girls would laugh at them dancing. So who cares? Get out there and dance. Jeez. Don't be such babies, man. Man, can't live with them, can't bury in the backyard. All right. Feeling a little blue this summer? The next time you're feeling sad, don't reach for the french fries. Try a banana instead. Not only are bananas a healthy snack, but they're also a happy snack containing a large amount of dopamine, the happy hormone. I did not know that. You mean I don't have to go for a 14-mile run to feel that dopamine high? I did not know that, but I'll figure it out. I'll try it. So apparently there are 16 other foods that boost your mood. Let's see what they are. There are, well, I saw the list. No, I don't want the list of ingredients. I want the 16 foods to boost my mood. All right. Where are the foods at? Oh, no, that's flaxseed. Ooh, flaxseed? Omega-3s. You got to eat flaxseed? No, come on. I don't eat flaxseed. I'm not going to eat flaxseed. But where are the 16 foods? Here we go. Number 1. Real quick, we got 3 minutes left. Blueberries. I believe that. Blueberries are acidifying to the body, though. It's one of the only fruits that makes your body more acidic and not more alkaline, right? And so studies have shown or have speculated that a more alkaline pH level in the body, a higher pH level, actually decreases the ability for cancer cells to grow. And look, blueberries are they have high in antioxidants, but they also make your brain happy. Why? Because they're high in antioxidants. They improve your mood. Avocado. Ooh, that brings to mind the avocado affair. Look for those recipes coming up on Spoony Radio's social media pages exclusively. Well, I'll probably put them on the Food Biz Pro page and maybe my personal page as well. It's going to be really, really fun. I can't wait to get those out. The book is under revision right now, The Avocado Affair, and there's some really cool stuff in there. I think you'll be surprised. Avocados are rich in vitamin B12, or in B vitamins rather, particularly vitamin B6, and they're a rich source of folate, iron. One avocado provides around 1/3 of your daily folate needs, and when it comes to magnesium, one avocado provides 15% of your daily needs. Magnesium is important. As a matter of fact, if you take a calcium supplement, make sure there's calcium, there's a magnesium in there. Otherwise, your body can't absorb it. I actually take this thing called Triamin. It's magnesium, calcium, and zinc, and it's very effective. As a matter of fact, my blood pressure, I don't have high blood pressure typically, unless I'm under some sort of stress, but my blood pressure levels out almost immediately. All right, we'll go through the rest. Walnuts. omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E, folate, and polyphenols. Next are chocolate. Chocolate has a number of effects on the human body that, dopamine, anandamide, all sorts of stuff. It's really good. Polyphenols, it's pretty amazing stuff. Lion's mane mushrooms. They're kind of funky looking, but they're a wild growing mushroom that have all sorts of NGF. It's nerve growth factor, all sorts of stuff. It actually can really reduce your chances for depression. Green tea. Yep, green tea, polyphenols. You have green tea, which is matcha, right? Regular green tea. L-theanine. Theanine, rather. There's all sorts of stuff. Packed with antioxidants. Brazil nuts. I like Brazil nuts. Probiotics. Well, probiotics, yes. I'd go for something more totally probiotic and prebiotic. Atrantil. Go to lovemytummy.com. Dark leafy greens. Yep. Lots of polyphenols once again. Lentils, chickpeas, broccoli, quinoa. Bananas. Bananas is one of the best sources of food sources to increase your mood. Zucchini. Coffee. And that's enough for today. All right. Hey, thanks for joining me for another hour of the Food Biz Pro Show. I'm Chef Patrick Mosher. Yeah, check out all the social media platforms that we're on, please. I haven't been on Twitter much. I need to go in there and catch up. But check out the Instagram. I posted a good photo this morning. I'll post something a little bit later. Ciao for now. Be good to yourselves. You are what you eat. See you tomorrow.
This is the only 24-hour Take Anywhere platform dedicated to food and fun. We're Spoony.